I am an opera director. I know it sounds like a made-up job, but I promise it's real, and it's really fun. I actually get paid to be around beautiful singing and costumes and lights and sets, really glamorous, over-the-top stuff. Now, in the classical music world, we sometimes joke that our work involves recreating the music of dead white guys. Puccini, Verdi, Mozart. And admittedly, opera can be off-putting to some people. It's hard to relate to a guy in a powdered wig. And sometimes opera gets a bad rap. It's considered elitist or too expensive or outdated. But opera, with all of its pageantry, is at its essence music. It's the human voice expressed at its most beautiful. Now, I want you to take a moment to think of a song, any song. It doesn't have to be from an opera. And I want it to be a song that played an important role in your life. Perhaps it was a song that you used to celebrate a special event. Perhaps it was a song that helped you get over a breakup. Maybe it was a song that when you hear it, it reminds you of a loved one who has passed away, or your very first kiss. We all collect songs that constitute a sort of personal life playlist. It reminds us of who we are, and it connects us to our very essence as a human being. Now, I want you to take a moment to think of a time that you heard someone singing opera. Perhaps it was a single voice soaring above an orchestra, and you were moved in a way that you couldn't explain. Maybe it was so beautiful that even though you didn't understand the words, it hit you at your very core. I have been working as an opera educator, director, and performer for nearly 30 years. At the university where I work, here, I'm the opera chick. And today, I want to change your mind about opera. I want to show you that opera is more than just beautiful singing. It's storytelling. It has the power to open the door to the human condition and change us all. Thousands of years ago, our ancient ancestors sat around a campfire and told stories. They used music, art, pantomime, dance. It was a nightly ritual that every member of the community took part in. The stories our ancestors told one another helped reinforce tribal customs. It provided philosophies about life and death. It helped them grow close as a community, and it helped define them as a group. The stories that they told one another helped enrich their lives and helped them continue to create these communities. Stories that are told by societies become myth, and myth becomes the sacred way we connect, not just to one another, but to ourselves and to our ancestors. Joseph Campbell was a comparative mythologist. He formulated the idea that all myth is generated from similar narratives told by human beings throughout the millennia. He taught us that myth is the language of the soul, transporting us on a journey that uplifts us, teaches us, and forever changes us if we allow it. Campbell is best known for his theory of the hero's journey. It's a story of a person who, through great sacrifice, reaches the experience of the divine and returns with gifts that have the power to change society. Today, I'm going to take you on a hero's journey through the world of opera and the arts and show you why these ancient stories still matter in our modern lives. Joseph Campbell taught us that the hero's journey has a very predictable pattern in its narrative: a call to adventure, a descent into darkness, a transformation, and a return. Opera, like myth, begins with a call. A call to adventure is that moment when the hero is compelled to leave their ordinary world and embark on a journey into the unknown. In Mozart's The Magic Flute, Prince Tamino glimpses a portrait of a beautiful princess and is compelled to go on a journey to rescue her from Zoroastro, a mysterious figure who is holding her captive in his temple. Tamino sings these words: "This divine portrait stirs new emotions in my heart. I cannot name them, but they burn like fire within me." In Puccini's Tosca, our mercurial title heroine is compelled to confront Scarpia, a powerful and corrupt chief of police who is holding her lover, Cavaradossi, as a political prisoner. As Cavaradossi is led away to be tortured, Tosca tells Scarpia that she is not afraid of him or his henchmen, and she will not reveal her lover's secrets. In these beautiful arias, these characters are doing more than just singing. They are answering the call that we all hear to live fully, to love deeply, and to face the unknown. Every hero's journey contains an ordeal or descent, a trial, a death, a transformation. Campbell describes this as a series of challenges that test the hero's strength or character, followed by a profound loss or even death. Opera lives here. In The Magic Flute, Tamino must go through the secret trials of Zoroastro's temple in order to prove his worthiness. As he is blindfolded, he vows to risk his life for truth, friendship, and love. In Tosca, our heroine agrees to meet the deviant Scarpia in his chambers in exchange for her lover's freedom. As she laments her fate, she sings these words: "God, why in this hour of pain must you repay me like this?" As Scarpia moves to embrace her, she stabs and kills him with the words, "Here is your kiss from Tosca." Campbell said, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." In these pivotal moments, both Tamino and Tosca face ordeals that challenge their strength and courage. These stories become mirrors. They show us what it means to be human, and they challenge us to face our fears and our frailties in moments that we feel tested. Opera doesn't shy away from pain. It presents it in full form and engulfs it in music. And in this way, opera, with its extraordinary characters and larger-than-life plots, dares to enter that cave. It sings in the darkness. In the final step of Campbell's mythological cycle, the hero emerges transformed, resurrected as it were, only deeper, wiser, spiritually awakened. Tamino, having endured the trials of fire and water, is granted the hand of the princess, and in doing so, brings about a world of truth, goodness, and enlightenment. Tosca, having learned that Cavaradossi has been executed, resists her own arrest for the murder of Scarpia and throws herself off a parapet to her own death, defying the authorities and cursing those who killed her lover. It is in her suffering and death that political corruption is shown fully for what it is. It is in these moments that we are transported through sacrifice and redemption in a way that brings us back to ourselves. It reminds us of who we are. Opera, through the power of the human voice and music, externalizes the internal. It distills the character's inner struggles into simple truths and beautiful melodies. Campbell referred to myth as the song of the universe, and that when we hear these stories, our souls vibrate together in harmony. We experience the divine. It is through the musical experience of opera that we are transformed too, and it brings us back to ourselves, only deeper, wiser. All art serves this purpose. Have you ever been transformed by a painting or the movement of a dancer? The arts are not a luxury. They are a necessity. They transport us on a mythical journey and bring us back to ourselves. They remind us of who we are. So, why does this matter? Do you remember the campfire of our ancestors? In our modern lives, the campfire has been traded for technology. In the evenings, we huddle around the blue glow of a screen, taking in 30-second sound bites. We worry more about likes than life lessons. We have forgotten that influencers are not heroes, and that breaking news offers a descent into darkness from which there is no transcendence. In our wealth of technology, we have become bereft of our ability to connect to ourselves and to one another. And so that's where the arts come in. Campbell reminds us that myth is kept alive by artists. They are the shamans of the modern world, and the art they create interprets our world back to us through myth. They are relaying the song of the universe back to us. And so it is our responsibility to listen, because we are all on a journey. We are all heroes in our own lives. And in a world that feels disconnected, opera and the arts reconnect it. They remind us that beauty is truth, and that love and loss are worth singing about, and that even in tragedy, there is transcendence. Opera is not old. It is not dead. It is eternal, because the hero's journey never ends. It just changes costumes. So, the next time you hear the music, don't just listen, feel. Pull back the curtain to human connection. Remember the hero within you, and maybe, just maybe, answer your own call to adventure. Thank you.